What's going on, pros? This is Mike. This is a Dirty Promotions video. This morning I'm going to be talking to you about a hose system, a proper hose system, why some of the parts that are integrated into the hose systems are very important for our use in our application of either installing PPF or window tint. It is extremely important that the connection that you have on your hose is a swivel connection like this right here, that it swivels freely. Let's assume that you buy one and it does not have a swivel, so this is kind of stiff. So do with your fingers left and right, and you can see clearly the difference in difficulty of not having a swivel. When it has a swivel, you don't need to carry the whole weight of the damn hose for you to make your movement a lot easier on the hands, less strain on the hands, and this is a proper tool for a professional grade hose for installation. Okay, the other thing right here that I wanted to discuss is filtration. This filtration, I set it next to the tank because the customer asked me to set it next to the tank. When you connect it to the tank, then around the rim of the tank you can put some tie wraps here so that this doesn't move when you're working, instead of having it kind of like fall to the floor or hanging like that. You can't have it. It just adds a little bit of weight here. You don't want any weight, whatever, to cracking this in the future. So you want this to be set in a still position, tie wrap it to the tank, and this will be in this nice ordinary position, okay? The two filters, this right here, what is inside right here is a 40 micron filter. And let me show you the difference between this one and what I have here in the tip, right here. Polypropylene or plastic. This is stainless steel right here. This right here is a Viton seal, meaning a chemical resistant plastic rubber instead of ordinary rubber. That is proper for these type of hoses because you're going to be running perhaps maybe soap, alcohol, vinegar, don't know. And you need that seal not to fail you with those chemicals running through it. So when you're a type of installer that takes a longer time to clean out a tank or a filtration system, which is this one, then this is proper because it catches a lot more stuff. When you're a guy that likes to, perhaps after the end of the tank that you've installed for the day, then this is probably something that's a little bit more effective, efficient. It is a small 40 micron filter that I sell. You put it in there, and then let's say at the end of the tank, if you fill the tank with about, I don't know, 2-3 gallons or so, then at the end of the installation, when the tank is gone, and then at the end of the 2-3 tank use, you may take this out. You're gonna see all kinds of things that are captured in here. As you can see right here, dust particles. And dust particles might come from a lot of different sources. The water, when you fill the tank, if you don't clean the rim of the tank, maybe some of that particles of dust that are hanging on the rim of your stainless tank go in there, whichever the reason may be. Maybe you stick your hand in there for whatever, and there's hairs and dust particles on your hand, they're going to stay in there. So long story short, at the end of the installation, you can remove this, rinse it with a little bit of warm water, maybe a toothbrush, clean out some of the glycerin, put it back immediately. This is pretty much something that takes about 30 seconds to do, and you're ready to, for another full brand new tank of slip solution that is clean from regular tap faucet water. Or if you take a lot longer and you want to do it maybe every month or this or that, then this is a larger cup and it does hold more particles, because this one I have removed it after 2-3 tanks. It's pretty, it gets pretty. One time I forgot to even change it, and I saw my my pressure was a little bit limp, and I goes, oh, this tank has 80 pounds of pressure, it's limp. I opened it and I had forgotten to clean it. There's a lot of glycerin, and of course the glycerin that is caught in the filter prevents the water flow from going out of this one. Type of hose is a flexible good hose, because a long time ago I used to buy less expensive or different type of polypropylene or plastic or whatever, or nylon type of hoses, and those type of hoses were very stiff. They didn't want to accommodate to like movement and whatever. It either curled or it was all kind of like in a funky way. This one, you can see it settles right down where it needs to be at, And that's what you want. You know, you want a flexible, high quality type of hose that goes with a type of high quality filtration system. Either yes, this on this bigger one, or no. And definitely something here for daily applicators like window tinters. This type of bigger thing would be more proper for people that do PPF because they consume a whole lot more water. And when they're installing a big old hood or a large area, it is extremely important that a dust particle, a black one, does not appear in the middle of the hood. So you do need to capture it, and it could be right here instead of on the vehicle, wasting $100 and $125 piece of PPF versus in window tint, you know, $5, $10, $15. It doesn't hurt, doesn't break the bank too much, but PPF definitely, I would recommend something like this. Automobile tinting, either this if you like, but definitely this one at the tip. The tip style that you're going to be using automobile, especially me because I tint a lot of windows, I like to use my stuff to be plastic versus let's say brass, because of its heavy use, my proximity to the glass. When I go to the actual glass or a car, I go and touch the glass when I'm either spraying and cleaning the side, and I don't want this metal to be a brass metal tip that I can actually crack a glass or dent or hit some metal surface of the vehicle and do some damage. So I've always kept it this. People that say brass lasts forever and blah 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 blah, good, but even if I have to, let's say, use 2 of these over a lifetime versus 1 brass, it's not gonna repair a broken piece of glass or a potential dent on a very expensive vehicle. So I prefer to keep these. I'm very careful. I don't be throwing them on the floor and stuff like that. So these for me have lasted a very, very, very long time. Tip is very proper. The amount, there are some tips that are very larger, will throw a lot more water onto the vehicle, let's say a window. So I have seen the improper tips being used for application. Every time I go to training, I see that very large tips are used. A lot of water is displaced. You get a lot of either damage to electronics potentially, or this or that, windshields, back windows, BCMs in the back trunk of a car, Mercedes, all that kind of stuff. So I do like to use the proper things when I sell my tools, my products from my site. I always ask them, give them a call and ask them what is their use, what are they using, if they're comfortable with this tip or whatever. I cannot go beyond my, let's say, recommendations. If they say they want a yellow tip or red or this or that or CFMs or gallons per minute or whatever on the tip, then I will sell them exactly that. But if they are clueless, then this type of service goes a long way from a small business owner. So anyway, here's my explanation of some of the tools that we use, why we use them, and see you on the next episode. Have an amazing day.